Hey guys, I'm Apollo from Immortals. Welcome to the Frontier Fan VOD review. Today we're going to be looking at your best plays. Here we are. We got this clip from Aredo, and he's going to be playing Ezreal. Looks like the bot lane matchup specifically is Ezreal Pyke versus Draven Thresh. Looks like he was scared of invade, so he warded the try. I like that. I mean, it's a solo queue, so people usually like to invade anyways. It sucks to have to leash in this lane, just because if the enemy team didn't leash, like if Draven Thresh didn't leash, then they would most likely get zoned off. Like, this lane matchup already is pretty hard for Ezreal Pyke, just without even, watching anything. I can already know this is a hard matchup. That was a good hook. Damn. That was a pretty bad trade, so since he took that trade, you basically have to let it shove in now, because you're not going to get control back. After the wave is, I mean, even before this, after the wave is at this point, you're not going to be able to walk up. They're going to get level 2 first, and you just can't trade back. This is generally how the lane goes, except for you really just can't out trade this guy unless you land enough Qs, or the Pyke landing hook was good, but it just didn't get enough damage off, and got hooked. Oh, what the? Okay, so some oopsies there. Got hooked. Like, it's kind of struggle city a little bit, but at least you got some CS. I mean, your goal in this lane, if I'm playing Ezreal Pyke versus Draven Thresh, my goal is to just sit under my turret, kind of in this this general area, like wanting to farm at a very safe spot. And if I'm, the Draven Thresh side, I would say it's to sit around this area or this area, so that you have control over the river and you're able to zone off the Ezreal Pyke. Just because it's such a weak lane, Ezreal Pyke is very weak, doesn't really provide that much. They should really never get pressure. So Thresh is roaming, you guys got the wave shoved in. Right here, if you don't push this fast enough, what happens, which I think ends up happening, is the wave is going to end up in a really bad spot under their turret. It's not too bad, but I'll see what happens. Oh man, he took the cannon from that Pyke. That's rude. So now the wave is in a pretty bad spot, and their Thresh and Echo are coming. I can show you. Thresh and Echo are going to be moving. I think they might have even cleared your ward, so it's even more scary. So you're pretty much in threat of getting ganked, and the wave is in a really bad spot. So you just have to now they can essentially freeze on you, and I think that's what ends up happening. Yeah. So now you just have to play really safe. So if you shove that wave in, it would have been you would have had like a better wave state. Now, that being said, I think Draven is shoving it, so that's good for you. But just like a small thing, making sure that you're pushing in the wave and having it bounce back, especially in a losing lane matchup. Now, if you're maybe the Draven Thresh side, it probably wouldn't have mattered, because you can almost 2v3 at this point, but yeah. And now this Draven is hard shoving, so this is just bad for them. But like I said, your main goal is to just be farming and making sure that you're farming around this area. And I think this lane would have been really difficult if the Thresh and the Draven were, trying to actually control the wave, making sure that they're not hard shoving. But every single time I'm looking at this Draven, he's trying to push the wave. So I think if you're going to bait, for the gank, I'd probably not use my E. In a situation like this is very important. So the gank happens, whatever. Your main goal is using your jungle gank to get a reset off, because in all these cases, or in cases like this where you're having a losing lane matchup, especially when it's this much of a discrepancy, you want to be able to shove the wave out and reset. That's like your main goal, because you can never do that in a realistic case. You can never shove the wave out 2v2 without a jungler against this lane. It's just very unlikely, and it means that you really messed up. So using this gank to push and reset is push and reset is just super important. So if you're even at this point in the game, Ezreal Pike versus Draven Thresh. I'm super happy. And I was saying before, it had a lot to do with the mistakes from Draven Thresh, or at least that's what I see. And as I say that, that's not good. Oh, this is a triple kill for the boy. Oh, okay. So mistakes happened. Now Draven is not even, or now Ezreal is not even, and the Draven cashed out. So I mean that's good that the Ezreal stayed alive, but now the lane's gonna be even harder because when Draven BT comes in, it's gonna be really rough, and we have absolutely no lane control. The Draven Thresh can keep it around here the entire time. Honestly, they shouldn't be pushing, and the Thresh should just be zoning you guys, but they're not, so so it's good. So this is kind of the awkward point about playing an AD carry, especially in solo queue, and particularly in low elo. Your job is now to farm, but you don't know where to farm, and that's what I'm looking at right now. Is you're trying to share the middle lane with your Xerath, and you're just going to eventually start falling behind in experience and gold, or the Xerath is. So one of you has to go side lane, and I see the 2-man mids status here. In this case, maybe it's okay just because the dragon's coming up, but we're going to see what happens. Dragon's coming up, they just get it for free, and now you guys are back to dual laning mid. And they're, yeah, so this is just, I mean, this is kind of low elo, so I'm going to assume, or actually it doesn't really matter if it's low elo or not. In this situation, what you want to do is either make your Xerath go side, which is not good, or you go side, which I think is going to be the better, it's going to be better in this case, because you're just going to be losing farm. Thankfully, your Riven is catching both side lanes, and they're doing the same exact thing as you. But if I'm going to be going side, you just have to control your jungler and support to help you get vision. And I know it's a little bit hard and it takes a little extra effort, but that's the only thing that you can really do is make sure your team is helping you go farm the side lanes. But this is all good. Things are happening. All right, so let's see how this game ended. Looks like a lot of kills back and forth, and team got Baron. Draven got picked off somehow, and we're making a push for the end game here. Everyone's nice and strong. I didn't really get to see much of the fight because Ezreal wasn't really in there, but got to clean up, which is good. Staying alive, very important. And he gets a nice double kill for the end of the game. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys all learned something, and I'll see you next time.